Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for stopping back into 2-Minute Board Gaming. My name is David, and today I bring you forth more Maladum coverage. Well, content, whatever you want to call it. It's Maladum, Dungeons of Enveron. Okay, alright, I'm gonna stop the goofiness. Well, probably not, but either way, we're here today, and I'm excited to bring you more of this amazing game. It has really taken me by surprise. It is rocking this neighborhood with how much goodness and content this game has delivered. And if you haven't seen my unboxing, please take a look at that. And if you haven't checked out the some of the train build that I also did, I built some of the train. This game is it is so cool. It is really just it's hitting on so many levels for me. It is a dungeon crawler that has it's just crunchy enough, right? And actually, it's hitting a lot of crunch, but not in my mind. It's not it's not too much, right? So it's just enough to hit that right spot where like you feel like you are, it's not a cookie cutter dungeon crawler. Like this is not Hero Quest where you have a standard character that you get these few stats and then you pick up items throughout the quest. No, these you can literally build characters from the ground up. Now those characters will have sort of base stats, but it's the classes that you then assign and the equipment that you get, and then the skill choices and how you level them up that sort of differentiates it from a lot of those standard dungeon crawlers. All right, now there's a lot to take in. Now what are we doing here today? All right, so what we're doing is we're going to talk about how we're going to build a party to go into your dungeons, right? How are we going to delve into these dungeons? Well, we need folks to take with us, right? And so one of the cool things is, and let me go ahead and open up the book. So we're going to flip to page, I believe, 68. And 68 talks about how to actually build a party, right? Assembling your party. I'm using the cards that even come just little placeholders. Yeah. So now if you really want to get stuck in, like right away, you can go ahead and use the recommended party here. It's according to this, it's well balanced, a very, like a diverse variety of different characters. You've got a sellsword, a rogue, a ranger, and a primordius, which is sort of one of the various magic user classes. And then they give you a set of equipment to sort of hand out to them. Now, how you come about building this group right here is you're going to use it's a point system, but essentially it uses a currency, which is in Maladum is Gilder. Gilder is the currency. And so what it recommends for a starting, party, now you could start with less, you could start with more, but it's recommended that you start off with 350 Gilder. So, and today, that's kind of what I want to do. I just want to show you how you'll go about building your party if that's what you choose to do. Now, again, you could go with the sort of the standard party here that they recommend playing out of the game for the first few games, but I don't always ascribe to what is recommended right out the gates. I want to experience my own party and theme and, get, TPK'd if, like maybe that happens. But that's on me, right? That's not on the game creators. Anyway, so assembling your party. So the first thing you're going to need, well, let's go ahead and break it out. This is your character dashboard, right? A very cool, very organized dashboard that's going to hold everything you need for your character. Now let's go ahead and, so I've already sort of set aside the one character I want to bring on this, this build for my characters or my party, and that is Greet. Greet here is a gobbler, sort of a orcish goblin, mix. And I don't know, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this somewhere else, but sort of has a face from, what's that sci-fi film? Geez. All right, I'm lost for it. I'll come back to it. Anyway, just really struck me. I love the miniature for this character is so cool. But Yeah, like he speaks to me. So right now, we're going to go and talk about here, his stats. So these are the stats, right? These are your starting stats. And hopefully you can see that. But beginning, he has, these are, and just in case you haven't checked this out yet. So you have health, you have your, what is that? Skills, right? Your skill points, or, you know, skill stat. You have your magic stat, and then you have your actions. And then at the bottom here, you're going to have your experience. Now, health, I think, is sort of, you know, this is like your health and stamina, and it, you know, as you take damage, you're going to deduct from your health, obviously. So I have, with greed here, the potential to increase that up to a 4. So you're going to see that it's filled in at 3, and then as we level up, if we get more experience and level up, then we can assign another point to his health. And then same thing for his skill. His skill can go up to a 5. He currently has 2. His magic can go to a 4. And then his actions, which this is pretty big here. He starts with 2 actions, but potentially 3 actions. So there's a lot of characters can do that, but there's some that are just always sort of static at 2. All right, now that we've sort of, you know, dove into that, let's also talk about each character that you have will have unique starting skills. Now, Greet's, one of his starting skills here is barter, right? So barter, and then he has another skill called, let's see, tricks of the trade. Okay. So, and then, you know, like as you start to investigate and build your parties, you're obviously going to want to know what those are, and we're going to get to that. But let's also talk about this, which is the price. This is the price for Greet. Greet would cost us 75 guilder, right? So so we're going to add that. So right now, we're going to select Greet. He's going to be 75 guilder. Now, I might want to find out what those 2 skills do. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. So let's flip to the back of the skills section, which is conveniently located in the hardback version on page 140. Now, we need to find out what these 2 skills are going to do for our character here. So let's see if we can find those. So, and then these are the reference. So like we have agility skills, we have cunning skills, we have endurance skills, we have magic skills, we have melee skills, we have range skills. So far, we have not come across what we're looking for. Stealth skills, support skills, and I believe barter is right here. So if you can see this, Greet is going to start at level 1 at barter. Now, what does level 1 do? You may perform one of the following. Purchase an item of any value in addition to the normal limits. Draw an additional rare item from the supply. Then, this will allow you, this will now be available to purchase. And then sell one item for its buy value to a maximum of 10 guilder times your rank. So, the items in Maladum have 2 values. The first value is the value that it costs. The second value is what you can sell it for. So just to sort of get that. So yeah, that's what all right. So right now he is going to be the character that's out there. Like once we raid a dungeon, once we do the loot and scoot, right? He is going to be the face man, for the interactions with merchants to get rid of that, you know, and get good values and get cool items for us. So that's his role, at least sort of initially, right? So Greet, that's that skill. So now that means that we have 1 rank already in barter. Now the other skill, which is tricks of the trade, we're going to go ahead and flip through and see if we can find that. Survivalist, townsfolk skills. I think I passed it. Let's see if we can find it. And as you can see, like there is so much variety. There's like the multi-levels for each of these skills. This really is sort of a RPG baked in board game, and I'm loving that. So, where's Tricks of the Trade? Oh my lord. It is hiding from me. It is hiding from me. All right, okay, found it. Tricks of the Trade. All right, so at level 1, you may lock or unlock a door or terrain piece in contact, or you may use Or you may use when searching after drawing tokens to ignore any trap tokens drawn with no effect. So very cool. So if we end up, finding a chest or any sort of like a crate, and we break it open, and as in the game, you're going to have this bag here full of your items and tokens. And then if I pull out a trap, well, guess what? I can use that skill to not take damage or potentially damage from a trap. So that's great. I like that. So those are his 2 starting skills that are associated with his particular character. So I like it. Now let's go and find out. I'm sorry. We can just go. I don't even know if we can just flip back to where we were. Although we'll probably have to flip back here again. Anyway, so that's sort of all right. We've established that we want Greet. We've established what his 2 skills are that he starts out with. You'll also notice that there's 2 sort of spots here, right? These can pop out. So like this would be the location where you can assign armor, right? So that is sort of his wearable armor slot. If we decide to get some, or if we find some, we add it to him. So, but for right now, we're just gonna for right now, we're gonna make a mess, and I'm gonna put him back. Hopefully, so there we go. There we go. All right. OCD's taking charge there. All right, now we're back to it. All right, so now we need to select what kind of class we want for Greet. Now, for this, I've sort of set a few aside, but I kind of have it. I'm sort of leaning towards one of them that. So we've got Assassin, right? I thought that would be sort of cool because it has, obviously, I think, it would sort of play to his. Underhandedness, his sort of in the shadows type, trying to get in, and then in particular for Greet, I don't necessarily think that's a good fit for him. But again, you could choose that, right? So I don't think Assassin. I'm sort of torn right now between Rogue and Scavenger, and there's some similarities, but between these 2, we can take a look. Now, as you see here, these also have an associated cost. So for right now, if we chose Scavenger, it costs more than it would be to be a rogue. So it cost us 9 gilder. So if we're doing the math, 75 and 9, we're talking 84 gilder, right, to play Greet. As a, and that's without any equipment. That's without not buying, and of course we're going to buy equipment, right? So, and then we have Rogue. So Rogue's a little bit cheaper. Now, this icon right here, and let's talk about that. So, these are, and you'll see on different classes, these icons represent sort of other abilities or baked-in abilities to the actual class itself. So for the Scavenger, you see this one and the footprint here. So let's take a look at that. And then on our Rogue, as I try to get a better look at that is a spell, is Open Door. So he could use his magic point to do whatever the spell would do. So we could look up both of those. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we're going to flip through. Go back to our, we're going to go to the very back here, not the very, very back, but we're going to go past the skills section because I want to get, there's the, sort of the reference in icons, right? So we need to see what that particular icon does. And I sort of have an idea already, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yes. So we'll see. Okay. So you see right here, it says fast. All right. So when making a move action, the character can move X additional squares. So the 1 is 1 additional square. If a character has this ability from multiple sources, they may use the highest value. They do not stack. And I like that because what that means is I can get in and get around and start to grabbing, like loot chests, scavenging, it's baked into the name, and sort of get out, right? So I kind of like this already, right? So that's what that would do. So we would have a base movement of 5, which is pretty sweet. Now let's look at the Open Door spell. So we'll have to flip back And you can see there's a lot of icons. So these, I mean, and that's fine. I think, and they're not that, they're not hard to understand, but you will come across equipment and lots of things that you need to reference this. And as you play games and sort of get more, reps, all that stuff will sort of be second nature. But let's go back to our spell section here. Now this comes before your, this reference spells, and this section shows up before you get to your skills. So we are looking for Open Door. I believe it is a, where is it? It's not a Vicarious spell. It is, all right, so it falls under Elemental Magic. Telekinesis, Open Door. So right here, oh, I'm out of the shot. So Open Door. So Open Door or close an unlocked door, right? And then lock or unlock a door or terrain piece. And there's that check mark icon, and I think that's just sort of okay, so check. Effortless. Oh, okay, this item can be used as an effortless action. Oh, interesting. So that spell, ooh, interesting, is effortless, right? So that, and what effortless means is it's sort of one of those things like, so normally opening a door, right, would cost an action. But as a effortless action, actually, as an effortless action, it would be free. When I say free, you get one per turn. But I want to make sure that I'm not telling you something wrong. I may do that. I have a tendency to, to mislead. No, not intentionally. Not intentionally misleading. All right, you're like, okay, I'd have to go. All right, I got to go back to the very front. And as you can see, this book, there's a lot, right? There's a lot in here. But I want to really sort of give you the best. All right, so here are the different skills, right? Search, different actions you can take, sorry. Persuade, knock back. All right, effortless actions, here we go. So dashing, laying prone, using an item marked with a check. Okay, so, all right, so it could be other things, right? So there we go. So that you'll get one effortless action per turn. There we go. All right. Now, so do we like that? Do we like that, the scavenge ability, or do we like the ability to open doors, lock doors? All right, so the other part of this is we sort of then have to look at what are some of their other abilities. And let me give you a quick, well, let's get a little bit closer look. I'll bring these into a different shot here. So hopefully you can see that. And each of these dots, or these little circles, can be filled in. Those are your skill levels. So like if nothing's filled in, you're not skilled in it. So, and that's the cool thing. So as we level up, we can have very different characters, right? So, all right, first things first, Scavenger has acrobatics. It has fleet of foot. It has combat arts. It has tricks of the trade. It has light fingers. Hard to hit. Barter, right? Now, barter would go well with, because we're already skilled in barter, right? And tricks of the trade we're already skilled in. So we potentially could be level 2 at both of those starting out, which is pretty sweet. And then I think the last one there was ready for anything. And then for rogue, we have light fingers, reflexes, tricks of the trade. So we get tricks of the trade up here too. Distraction, persuasion, camouflage, duck for cover, and tracking. I hate to say it. I think I just want, I have this this idea about him and like what he's all about. So I'm going with Scavenger. There is no wrong, right? There's no wrong or right. It's just, that's what we want to play. So we're going to go ahead and bring him back in here. And let's go back to the main. Here we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and slot this. All right. So now Greet has his class. We're going to be a Scavenger. We've got a few things we have to do. So let's go ahead and get his sort of character part set up here with his pegs, right? So the health will be used with these green icons. I'm sorry, these green pegs here as I bring those into the shot. So you're just gonna up to your starting stat, right? So he has a 3 health, so we got 3 pegs there. And then our magic is going to be the blue. So we start with 1 magic, and then the pink, I guess, pinkish or purplish color here is going to be used for your skills. Now, what does that mean? Well, that just means that in order to use these skills, we have to most times, or there are times, or you would spend it. So you take this out and it's gone for the entire game. There are ways to get these back, but you're going to have to use your, that, and you're going to want to level up your skills because that way you have more skill points to work with. So yeah, and so those are our starting stats. We've got those placed into our tray here, our dashboard. And then, excuse me, these now, we have to decide where we want to put our starting skill points. I'm sorry, our starting experience points, because that is what is going to dictate these. So we start out with 2. There are other characters that start out with more. For example, I'm just pulling another character here. So like Sirio here starts with 3, so while we're sort of, thinking about that, let's flip back to where the skills are and just sort of get an idea of what our other choices could be. And let's see. All right. So acrobatics. So if we took level that 1, make a move action, and it shows this icon here, a 2 and then a 3. And then passive, you may stand up as an effortless action. I kind of like that. Now what this is that means you can sort of hop over terrain up to 2 squares, I think, or up to 3. Jump. Yeah, so it's sort of like a jump and then moving, kind of doing the John Woo over some, terrain. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's see. So that is acrobatics. We also have fleet of foot. Oh, okay. So in essence, at level 1, you just make a move action, right? So you would spend one of your skills here. You basically get an extra move. It's okay. And then we have combat arts. You sweep your enemy's feet from under them. An enemy in contact is knocked prone. That's cool. And then passive, this character's attacks gain quick strike. Ooh. If using a weapon that also has quick strike, you may dash and attack. Ooh. Ooh, that is cool. Ooh, that's... All right, that's kind of speaking to me. I'm going to go ahead. And take that. I like that. That sounds awesome. All right. So as you see, I've grabbed the Sharpie here that, the dry erase marker that comes with the game. And I've filled in that first circle because that dictates that I'm going to be level 1 in combat arts. All right. Now, the question is, we also have 2 skills that we have starting abilities with. Should we, I think I'm gonna hold back from starting at level 2 in those just because I want more options. So let's look through some of these other ones. So let's see. Is that sticky fingers? I'm sorry, light fingers, not sticky fingers. All right, light fingers. As a reaction, use after suffering a melee attack in which you took no damage. Take any item from the attacker's inventory other than the one they attacked with. If you do not have space for it, drop it or another item you are holding. That's kind of cool. All right, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then we have hard to hit. So let's find that. I think that's probably going to be... I don't know if that's going to be like a... All right, hard to hit. Level 1. While in cover, you cannot be affected by ranged attacks until the end of the round, although you can be targeted as normal. While in cover, you cannot be affected by ranged attacks until the end of the round. Interesting. Okay. That's kind of cool. I like that. And then barter. We've already, okay, so we got barter, and then what's the last one there? What is it? Ready for anything. Sorry, I need my reading glasses. Ready for anything. Ready for anything. Reaction. Use at any time. Take an action. Wow, that's pretty good. What do we do? All right, so I think I like the hard to hit because I like that Greet is sort of like running around. He's got that extra movement. He's sort of like, you know, sticking to the shadows, like diving behind cover, trying to avoid enemies. That would kind of play into that. But then I'm thinking about that combat arts again. Let's look at acrobatics one more time. Let's see. Make a move action. That's sort of, I like that too. Oh, there's so many good choices. Fleet of foot, make a move action. You know what? Let's go with. Let's take back. All right. I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but let's look at barter. Again, let's see what level 2 barter would get us. Let's see what that would get us. Level 2. So during yeah, and I meant to say during this happens during the market phase. So the market phase, deduct up to 2 guilder from the buy prices or add 2 guilder to the sale prices of up to 3 items in any combination. And then passive, deduct up to 2 guilder from the cost of 1 item for item or adventure upkeep costs in the market phase. That's pretty good. And then the other was tricks of the trade. Tricks of the trade. Level 2 was reaction. When a trap card or token is drawn targeting the character or a friendly character within short range lines, the character spots and disables a trap triggered. Discard the card token with no effect. Okay. And then passive, oh yeah! You may make a general search as an effortless action. Ooh. Wow. That's cool. Man. We're eventually going to get that, but I think for right now, yeah, I think we're just going to stick with, going to go with, I think prepared for anything, because I think that gives us a lot of flexibility. So there we go. All right. I know that took a while, but that's sort of what you're going to get to go through, right? You're going to have to make these, these sort of initial decisions. And you know what? If it's not what you like, go back and fix it, right? You can always change it up. So right there, right now, we've got our character, our class. We've got the stats set up. Let's go ahead and talk about some equipment. So we need to decide on what kind of equipment we're going to give them. Now, I just sort of pulled a few things here just to sort of give you an idea of what they do. I've moved to the reference icon section of the book, 151 in the hardcover. So let's start taking a look. So I pulled out, for example, this is leather armor. It has a cost of 6. So the leather armor has the icon you can see right there, and we're going to go ahead and reference what that icon means. And if you see right here, well, you can't see right there because I'm going to flip over to this camera, and I'm going to push this into so you can see it. So defensive reroll. The character may force a single die to be rerolled from any attack made against them unless the attack ignores physical armor. Critical hits cannot be rerolled. So do we want to give Greet some leather armor to help soak up in case he does get hit? Potentially. So for right now, let's just set that aside. I'm probably not going to start with armor, but depending on how my first game or two goes, that may be a decision I go back and revisit. So next I have, let's see, a couple other items here. Let's look at these. So this is a short sword right here. This short sword has 2 icons that that first icon at the top there, I believe, is a parry. Let's take a look. I think it's a parry. We're gonna, oh yeah, so right here. So parry is the ability to, when the user of the item is in a target of a melee attack, you may roll a combat die. Each hit scored will negate one from the enemy's attack, as if it were physical armor. You then become fatigued. So then I would get a condition then, but it also has this other icon, which I believe allows us to roll an extra die in combat, which is cool. I'm sorry, yeah, so that's gonna, I think that's potentially up to 2 dice, and the cost for the short sword is 6. So the cost is 6. All right, so another potential item, so we'll set that aside for right now. So now the remaining things here are, I think it's just a generic dagger, and then we have another one, right? So we have a few items here. So we've got this. Okay, so let me set these 2 aside, right? We've got this is just a regular, I'm sorry, no, this is the regular dagger right here. You'll see that it does, you're gonna roll 1 die. Now you're rolling the blue die, I believe it's the blue die, and then plus 1 red die for this. You always roll a blue die regardless, right? So that is gonna be a cost of 2. So if we wanna go cheap, do we wanna go cheap? Potentially. That might be where, so we might do it just a dagger. This is a sling. Now the sling has this other icon here. Sorry, that's not the sling. This is the sling. It has the icon of the hammer there, and then it has this one, and that is its range. So you have a short range of 1 with the sling. The sling also requires ammunition, so we would also have to buy the ammunition for the sling, these ball bearings, and that would cost 4. The sling would cost 4, and then if we wanted to take a look at what the other icon was, the other icon was this bludgeoning, right? So if this attack rolls a critical hit, the target is fatigued, even if no damage was caused. I like that. And then the target suffers 1 additional fatigue counter for each damage caused. I'll tell you what, I might, yeah. So I think I might go with, I like the fact that he can be at some distance from, and he's going to try and keep his distance from enemies anyway. So that's why we're not going to go with the armor. So as of right now, we're going to go ahead and select the sling for greed. And then we're also, we need the ammunition. And you can run out of ammunition. So I think if you roll a skull, or more skulls than you do hits, then you would run out of ammunition. And then the last 2 things here, we'll jump back over, sorry. We have an apple, and then we have another knife, dagger, or stiletto, something right here. So let's see. So let's look at the other weapon. This has the, so it's going to do 1 plus your regular damage, and then it has this little sort of arrow here. Let's see what that icon is. And we're going to flip over, and maybe we can find it without having to look too far. Don't see it yet. Don't see it yet. So, what does that little... Okay, oh, right here, sorry. That is Quick Strike. Quick Strike. If this weapon rolls a critical hit during a melee attack, you may dash or make another attack. Ooh, I like that. With this or another, or any other weapon, or free, for free immediately after the initial attack is resolved. Whoa! And how much is this? The question is. It is 3. Man, that's a lot. I don't know if we invest in that yet. I think, to be honest with you, we're gonna pass, because maybe I find that later on and I just go a little bit cheap. I mean, it's not going cheap, because that sling and that and the ammunition alone are 8 gilder right together. So and finally we have the little apple here, and the icon here is, it's sort of that's during the rest action. So you can use this during the rest action in order to gain a health. So the rest action is right here. So the icon will be seen alongside other abilities and is only used during a rest action. The character may discard the token and apply the following abilities. So restoration. So this is basically a health restoration. So you'll see it is going to give you +1 to your health. So for an apple, it costs 2. Do we start with an apple or do we look for an apple? So you know what? Let's play it. Let's start with an apple. Greed's a hungry guy. He likes to, apple day keeps the dungeon baddies away. I don't know. That's silly. Okay. All right. Now, so this is what we got. We've got Greed. He's going to start with a sling. I'm going to start, I'm also going to take an apple. Do I take a dagger? And just in case something gets close on us. The dagger's 2. I think we do, just because. So maybe we don't need it. Maybe we never need it. But I'd rather have it and not need it, right? So there we go. This is Greed. This is what we're going to start with. Now, those items add up to, I think, 12 gilder. Yep, because it's 2 and, yeah. So it's 8 total for the sling and the shot. And then the dagger was 2, and then the apple's 2. So 12 gilder, right? So 12 gilder plus our 75. So we are at 87 gilder. 87 gilder plus our 9. Wow, he's pretty expensive. So if we went with this build as is, that is 96 gilder. 96 gilder. If I did my math calculations correct. All right, so there you go. Right, that we've built our first character for our party. I know I rambled. But what I want to do is I wanted to show you the depth of what you've building your characters. You may want to take the option of just starting with the build, the starting party, just to get some games in there, because at the end of the day, right, you're not having to take that extra time. But if you're like myself, you're going to want to make your party your own. So yeah, this is Greed. He's going to be going with us, and I'll look to continue to build the party. So maybe we do 2 more characters before, not during this session, but I will have 2 or 3 more characters for the party. But Greed is one of them, and he's going to be a scavenger, and I'm really excited to see him, delve into the dungeons of Maladum. So there you go. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the coverage and the content here for Maladum. I'm really excited about this game, if you haven't been able to tell already. As I've said, it's sort of, it speaks to me. It's taken me by surprise. There's just so much in here that is to love and like. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Is this something that is it too crunchy for you? I don't, for me it's not. I think it gives me enough enough variety and a lot of choices, and I like that, because you're going to mold it to the sort of game and the characters that you want to play. And I think that's incredibly fun. So in my mind, but yeah, let me hear your comments, your thoughts, your feedback. Leave a comment. Tell me about if this is a game you're looking to pick up, or if you already have it and you're building your own characters, and what your thoughts are on those. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. My name is David. This is Two-Handed Board Gaming. I hope you're enjoying the content. Please like and subscribe if that's something you're inclined to do. I'd surely appreciate it. It's going to help my channel or this channel grow, and I can continue to I'm going to do it regardless, even if it didn't. So no, I'm having fun. So but yeah, let me know if you want to see more content from Maladum, and I have so many other games to get to, but at the moment we're stuck in on Maladum. So, but definitely more of everything else to come. But again, thank you for stopping in. My name is David. This is Two-Handed Board Gaming, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.